Hey YouTube, Irish Air Gunner coming at you. Along over a new video, I've gotten like a dozen requests for a video on how to clean an air rifle. Today we're going to clean the Benjamin Discovery. It's a 22 caliber. I'm going to go through the steps and show you how I clean my rifles. Let's go over some components that you need before you start. All the stuff that you need to clean your air gun. Let's start off with a pair of scissors. Why you need a pair of scissors is because the patches usually come about 1.5 to 2 inches square. When you do the 22 and 25, it goes down the barrel really easy, but for the 177 you have to cut them in half. All I do is just merely take a patch and put the scissors in the middle and cut it down the middle, and that way you don't have to force the patch down the 177. The next item that you're going to need is a Q-tip. Q-tips for those hard to reach spots, and also you want to get the excess oil off the seal, and make sure you have a Q-tip. The next thing you need is a McDonald's straw. Just any straw off the McDonald's. What I usually do is I take it, I put the pair of scissors down the middle, and I cut about 1 inch, 1.5 inches in. And I'll show you later what that's for. Another thing is the common misconception is you have to clean this rifle like a firearm. This is not a firearm. If you use Hoppe's #7 and anything else that you use to clean a shotgun or a rifle, you're going to harm the barrel. Because inside a shotgun and a rifle there are no rubber gaskets or seals. Inside a PCP air gun there are grommets and seals. And that stuff that you use from Hoppe's is to get gunpowder. There is no gunpowder. There is no explosion in this. There's no burning fuel. It's all air. So you do not need to get gunpowder, carbon, and different things. The only thing you're cleaning your barrel for is to get lead residue that comes off the pellet when it goes down the barrel. You do not need to get gunpowder or any nitrates out. So do not, and I repeat, do not use Hoppe's or any conventional rifle cleaners. They will harm your air gun. What I use and what I recommend is Napier Pelgun oil. Napier's oil contains V90, which is an anti-corrosive lubricant. It's also designed, as you can see, for air guns by there's BSA, RSW, Air Arms, Eoban, all the major RWS, all the major air gun carriers use this. Actually, if you buy a new Air Arms, they send you a sample pack of Napier's oil. This can right here is about $14. You can get it online at napiers.com. It's actually napieruk.us. I'll put the link to it. It's $14 a can plus shipping. It's well worth it. If you're paying $1,000, $500 for an air rifle, don't skip out by going with cheap stuff. People say you can use WD-40. You know, I've read up on it, yes, no, maybe. But I know that the Napier's is guaranteed and set forth. The other thing that I use is I use a can of G96 gun treatment. The regular gun treatment. What it's designed for is it doesn't go down to clean, it's just a gun treatment. Cleans, lubricates, and protects. What I do is I put this on the outside bluing and I put it on the wood, and then I wipe it clean with a gun cloth. And it keeps the gun, keeps it lubricated, removes rust, and keeps everything set. The first thing you want to do before you clean any firearm is, in a safe distance outside, you want to make sure that your firearm is not charged. Secondly, you want to go ahead, open the bolt, leave the bolt open, and ensure the safety is on. After you do that, you're ready to clean your PCP. Now we're at the end. Now what we do is we start feeding our tube. If you remember the McDonald's straw that I showed you earlier, that we cut the piece out, as you can see this one is cut. Take the end that's cut and you go into the end cap or the muzzle brake and you push it in until it meets resistance and stops. Every gun, whether it's the Discovery like you see or an Air Arms, they come with either a suppressor or they come with a modifier or they come with an end cap. The Discoveries are very loud because it doesn't have a modifier. It has an end cap. All this is cosmetic. The end of your barrel is nothing but an end of a piece of tube that is cut out flat. So what this does is it cosmetically cleans the gun and makes the gun look more appealing and mount the sight. There's this much space between your barrel and the end cap. So the end cap obviously is much larger, so if you try feeding your string, it won't go through. If you start getting it through the straw, it goes right past the end cap and down the barrel. I found out that it's a lot easier using that. So let's proceed to take our hooked end into the straw. What I like to do is I like to pinch it so that way it's flat, so it goes down the barrel rather easy. Put in your straw. This straw has been worn. So as it comes up through, it comes into the gun, and you merely just keep slowly feeding it. And we'll go to the other end and we'll see how it works. As you're feeding your fishing line down the barrel, keep watching the receiver by the bolt, and you'll see it come out. When it comes out, just pull it out, and there's your hook. The next thing you want to do is you want to take your patch, put your patch on a clean table over top of a paper towel. Shake your cleaner, and you take your spray, your cleaner spray, your power spray, and you just cover the patch a little bit, lightly, so it's not soaked, but it's covered. Then after your loop is out, you have your patch covered with your oil. You take your loop, you put your patch so it's in the middle, hold the barrel, and you pull from the other end, pulling it through the barrel. As I said, make sure that you hold the barrel and pull the whole way through. When you get to the end, your straw will pop out, and there you go. You have your patch. And if this gun was dirty, like on this one, you see a little bit of residue from more like dust and just a little bit of moisture, because I keep my rifles clean. And to recap, you do the same thing. You put the straw back in the barrel so you feel pressure, and you refeed the line back through the barrel until it stops at the end. Keep your eye up onto the bolt. You'll see it come through, and you also feel the pressure will stop through. Once this process is completed and you've done it several times, depending on how dirty your rifle is, I put usually 3 to 5 patches with light oil through it until the patch will come out really dark black gray. That's when you first clean it. And when it starts coming out really light gray, too clean, that's when you stop. After you run your oil through, the next thing you want to do is you want to take a clean patch. You want to hook the clean patch up through your loop and repeat the same process using a dry patch, not using a patch with any oil, and merely pull it through. And you can hear, when it's clean, you'll hear like a real resistance noise, and that means that there's nothing left and the patch is just coming across the clean barrel. You're asking probably to yourself, why the Q-tip? I'll show you what the Q-tip is for. If you look on the side of the Discovery, up on the bolt, there's a rubber grommet right around here. What I usually do is I take a Q-tip and I go inside here into the barrel. I wipe that clean, and I also wipe around the bolt action right in here to get any residue off of there. And I also keep that seal, make sure there's no dirt, no dust on the seal, and then I clean up inside here very well. And that just makes sure, as you can see, there's a little bit of dirt on the Q-tip. I don't know if the camera will get in there or not, but it's not really dirt, it's just dust, byproducts, and I clean that up inside there very well. The next thing that I do is I use the G96, or the gun treatment. If you can see on the can, it says treatment, gun treatment. It's not a cleaner. It's actually a gun treatment. It lubricates, cleans, and protects. You want something that's going to leave a nice light coat of oil, not dripping oil, but something that's going to leave a protectant on it. So that way, even if you have air conditioning in your home, that causes moisture, you want something, a barrier that's going to block between the metal and the moisture. Also, if you take it outside, even if it's not raining, it's still humidity and different things, and you want to protect the gun because they are an investment. So all I usually do is I take the G96, I spray over the gun completely. I do not spray inside the barrel, I don't spray inside the trigger, and all I do is after I'm done, I do the stock, I just completely wipe the gun down, all the way down to the stock, to the trigger. And another thing that Q-tips are good for is cleaning, like when you have your scope mounts. They clean the rails very nice, they get up inside the rails. You can see on the Q-tip, you can see where it leaves an imprint. I also get inside the rails, I get inside the screw holes, I get inside the front sights underneath here, and I also take out any dirt or any extra oil. And that's another thing that the Q-tips are good for. If you're cleaning your rifle that's mounted with the scope, you want to make sure that you leave the scope caps on, the dust covers. You do not want to spray any of the oil inside the scope, on the glass, or anywhere near it. So it's a good idea to make sure that that's completely covered. Also, do not spray any oil directly into the barrel. Do not spray anything into the trigger group. Use the patches and the protective. When you spray the protective oil, make sure that you're about a foot away from the gun. And also spray in a left to right pattern. And do not spray directly onto the gun. Always do it in a sweeping motion. That way you don't get over amounts of oil that group into one area that might seep inside the gun or get inside any of those seals. You do not want to get any oil inside the gun for the seals and any of the rings, because that could cause you a problem later in the future. When you're completely done cleaning your rifle, your bolt is in the back position. A quick way in a safe area, like if the weapon would be pointed to the wall away from people, you merely pull the bolt back, squeeze the trigger slowly, and hold tension on the bolt, and you can put the bolt back in. That way the gun has been decocked and it's safe to be stored. And that's a wrap for the how to clean your airgun video. That works on the Marauders, Discovery, Air Arms, Crickets. It works on everything. It's basically the same technique. I hope the video was informative and answered some questions. If you have any more questions like you guys do, feel free to send me a message or send me a comment on the videos, rate, and please subscribe. As you can see, I've been stockpiling. I've been kind of working a lot, really way too much for the past couple months. So I haven't really put a video out for about 3-4 months. So I have everything that I need, been stockpiling, and we're going to do some more videos. I noticed a lot of you have commented on my first video I put out about the can. The cans was merely a test. I never put a YouTube video up. I've been new to it. I've been doing this for less than a year. And it was just an experiment. I never uploaded a video and never actually edited a video before, so it was a trial and run there. As you can see by the stockpile in front of you, I have 3 discoveries. I have 2 in 22 and 1 in 177. The 1 in 22 has a TKO, and the other 22 and the 177 are stock. For the TKO, I have the Hawks Eclipse 6x24, and for the other 2 stock discoveries, I have the Sports HD 4x12, all in mil dots. I got the chronograph, I got everything. I have all the pellets JSB puts out. I have 6 brands in 22, I have a 5 in 177. We're going to go ahead and test all the pellets with the Crosman Premiers. We're going to check with the Crosman Hollow Points. We're going to do some chroning testing, accuracy testing. We'll get the scopes mounted and get the guns out there and do some pellet selection, and you can see for yourself. We'll be shooting probably about 30 yards. So stay in touch, YouTube. Keep checking back, and like I said, again, if you like, please click like, rate, comment, and subscribe. A lot more videos to come. Once we get through the discoveries, we'll work through the Marauders, then we'll get into the Air Arms, and hopefully this summer here, by the end of the summer, I'll have my Caliber Cricket, and we'll do some videos on that. Hey, thanks for all your support, YouTube.